When my husband walked through the door with his lover standing behind him, I did not cry. I did not scream. I did not even ask him why he had brought another woman into the home we had built together. I simply looked at him and smiled. He didn't understand that smile. He thought it was the smile of a woman defeated. He thought I had finally accepted the way he had been treating me for months. He thought I was too soft, too gentle, too afraid of losing him to ever fight back. But he didn't know the truth. He didn't know that while he was away on his business trip, taking pictures in the mountains and laughing at dinner tables that were not ours, I had made a decision. A quiet one, a painful one, a decision that settled deep inside my chest like a stone, heavy but certain. I had sold the house. The living room he stepped into now belonged to someone else. The kitchen where I once cooked his favorite meals was no longer ours. The bedroom he shared with me, before he chose to share his time with someone else, was emptied out days ago. And I didn't tell him, not a word. Not even when he began posting pictures with her in places he had once promised to take me. Not when mutual friends started whispering. Not even when I spent nights alone in that house, listening to the quiet and wondering if my heart would ever beat normally again. I kept everything inside. I let him enjoy his trip, his freedom, his fantasy. Because I knew what was waiting for him here. And when he finally came home with his lover standing awkwardly behind him, her eyes wide, her fingers tight around the handle of her suitcase, I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Peace. Real peace. Because finally, the moment had arrived. The moment he would discover that the woman he thought was weak was not weak at all. I stood with my hands folded, watching their confusion grow, and I said the one sentence he never expected to hear from me. "You can't stay here, I sold the house." His face went pale. His lover stepped back, and for the first time in our marriage, he had nothing to say. I always believed that a marriage didn't fall apart in one day. It cracked slowly, quietly, like a thread coming loose at the seam of a favorite dress. You don't notice it at first. You wear it again and again, thinking everything is fine. But one day, the entire stitch gives out, and you're left holding a piece of fabric that used to be whole. That's how my marriage felt. From the outside, we looked steady. A good home, a comfortable life, and two people who had once promised each other forever. I still remember how proud my husband, Daniel, looked the day we signed the papers for our house. He held my hand and said, "This is our start, Anna. Everything we dreamed about." I believed him. Back then, the rooms felt warm. The walls felt like they held our laughter. And every morning when I woke up, I felt safe beside him. But life has a way of changing before you even realize it's happening. In the early years of our marriage, Daniel and I were close. We weren't perfect, but we tried. We had slow mornings, long talks over coffee, and little routines that made our days feel familiar. I cooked breakfast. He watered the plants in the backyard. We both admired the small lemon tree we planted on our first anniversary. We used to joke it was our marriage tree. "If it grows, we grow," he'd say with a grin. And it did grow. And for a long time, I thought we did too. I held on to those memories even when things started to change. I replayed them in my head whenever I felt the distance between us widening. They became like old photographs, beautiful but painful to look at for too long. The first signs of trouble were small. Too small, maybe. A missed dinner here, a shorter conversation there, the sound of his car arriving later than usual. Little things I convinced myself not to worry about. "He's just stressed," I told myself. "He's tired. He needs space." I said those sentences so often that they started sounding like little lullabies, calming, familiar, easy to accept. But deep down, I felt a change. One evening, I made his favorite meal, lemon chicken with fresh herbs from the garden. I waited for him, checking the clock every 10 minutes. When he finally walked in, he didn't kiss my forehead like he usually did. He didn't ask about my day. He just said, "I already ate." I remember standing there, holding the serving spoon, feeling foolish. But I smiled anyway and whispered, "Oh, okay." He didn't notice the disappointment in my voice. Or maybe he did, and he just didn't care enough to respond. As weeks passed, the distance between us only grew. He spent more time on his phone. He stepped outside to take certain calls. He became protective of his privacy, something he never used to be. He also started traveling more. At first, those trips were short, 2, 3 days at most. Work-related, he'd say. Important, he insisted. But each time he came back, he felt a little farther away from me. His hugs felt lighter, his eyes looked distant, and conversations became something we only did out of politeness. Still, I tried. I held on to my vows. I held on to the home we shared. I held on to hope so tightly that it hurt. There were nights when I lay awake beside him, feeling the empty space between us even though he was right there. I could hear his steady breathing, but I couldn't feel him anymore. Where did we go? I would ask myself in the dark, but I never asked him. Maybe I was afraid of the answer. It was a Sunday afternoon when the truth first brushed against me like a cold wind. Daniel had left early, saying he had errands. I spent the morning cleaning, then stepped into the backyard to trim the lemon tree. The air smelled fresh, and for a moment I felt peaceful. Then my phone buzzed. It was a picture sent by my friend, Claire. A picture of Daniel, laughing, with a woman I had never seen before. The caption said only, "Anna, are you okay?" My heart sank. Daniel was holding a cup of coffee in the photo, leaning slightly toward the woman, a natural, familiar closeness that told me they weren't strangers. I stared at the image until it blurred. Then I took a deep breath and told myself something I didn't truly believe. It must be innocent. But a quiet voice inside me whispered, "This is the beginning." Over the next few weeks, I tried to dismiss the photo. I tried to trust Daniel like I used to. But the truth has a way of making itself heard. A lipstick mark on his collar one evening, a scent on his shirt that wasn't mine, hair ties in his car that I didn't recognize. He always had explanations. "Oh, that must have been from the office. I hugged someone goodbye, that's all. You're overthinking, Anna." I wanted to believe him. I really did. But every explanation made the knot in my chest grow tighter. There were nights I stood in the shower, letting the water hide my tears. But even then, I told myself, you don't leave a marriage over a few suspicions. So I stayed, I waited, and I prayed that I was wrong. The turning point came one evening when Daniel casually announced he'd be going on a week-long work retreat. He didn't look at me when he said it. "A whole week?" I asked softly. "Yeah, it's a team thing." "I didn't know your office did retreats." He shrugged, uninterested. "They do now." Something in me tightened. There was no warmth, no reassurance in his voice. Just distance. "Will you call?" I asked. "Maybe, depends on the schedule." He grabbed his suitcase and went upstairs to pack. I sat on the couch, staring at the blank television screen. The house felt too quiet, too empty. The walls that once held laughter now echoed with something else, loneliness. When he finally left the next morning, he didn't kiss me goodbye. He just waved from the door and said, "Take care." And then he was gone. The first 3 days were silent. No calls, no messages. Nothing. I tried telling myself he was busy. I cleaned, cooked for myself, watered the plants, and tried to keep my thoughts from spiraling. But on the 4th day, everything changed. A colleague of his, someone I barely knew, posted a group picture on social media. Daniel was in it, and so was the woman from the coffee shop photo. They were standing very close, too close. She wore sunglasses, but her smile was wide and familiar. The caption read, "Best weekend getaway with the best people." Weekend getaway, not work retreat, not team building seminar, not anything he had told me. My vision blurred again, but this time it wasn't from sadness. It was from a realization so sharp it felt like it cut into my chest. He was lying to me, not just once, Not just maybe, but fully, deliberately, and without hesitation. I sat on the edge of the bed and felt something inside me breaking, not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly, like a ribbon slipping from a knot. I pressed my hand against my heart as if that would steady it. "It's really happening," I whispered to myself. I didn't know whether to scream, cry, or collapse, but I did none of those. Instead, I stood up, wiped my tears, and walked toward the kitchen. That was the moment I knew something needed to change. And I was the only one who could change it. I didn't make my decision in one moment. It wasn't an impulsive reaction or a burst of anger. It didn't come from rage or a need to hurt him back. It came from exhaustion, from loneliness, from the slow realization that I had been trying to hold together a marriage that only I cared about. But even then, I didn't decide in a rush. I let myself move through the days quietly, as if I were walking through a home I no longer recognized. Everything looked familiar, yet nothing felt the same. I remember sitting in the living room on the night of the fourth day of his work retreat. The house was still. The clock ticked loudly. The couch cushions around me were untouched. He hadn't sat with me there in weeks. I looked around the room and suddenly felt like a stranger in my own home. A home I had cleaned, decorated, and loved. A home I had filled with memories, laughter, little routines, and quiet evenings. But now it felt cold. It felt like the shell of something that once existed. I pressed my hands against my knees and whispered, "What am I holding on to?" It was the first time I truly asked myself that question. The next morning, I received a call from Claire, the same friend who sent me that first photo. Her voice was gentle, almost too gentle. "Anna, I don't know if you want to hear this." My heart tightened. "Just tell me." She hesitated, then sighed. "I saw more pictures. They're not hiding it. They're calling it a couple's trip." My breath caught. "A what?" "A couple's trip. He's with her, Anna, and her family is there too. They had dinner with them last night." I closed my eyes. For a moment, I didn't speak. I couldn't. My throat felt thick. "Oh," was all I managed. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. I thanked her, hung up, and placed my phone face down on the counter. I stood there, staring at the kitchen tiles, feeling a sadness so deep it wrapped around me like a cold blanket. But underneath the sadness was something else, something steadier, clearer, calmer. A realization. I couldn't keep living like this. For days, I tried to stay strong. I tried to hold myself together. But that afternoon, something inside me gave way. I sat on the floor beside the dining table, hugged my knees to my chest, and cried. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quiet, steady tears that ran down my cheeks without stopping. I cried for the woman I used to be. I cried for the promises he broke. I cried for the years I invested in a marriage that no longer existed. But most of all, I cried because I felt completely alone. When the tears stopped, I felt strangely empty, like I had cried out the last piece of hope I had been holding on to. And in that emptiness, I found clarity. A calm, simple thought settled in my mind. I need to leave before I disappear completely. I got up from the floor, washed my face, and stood in front of the mirror. My reflection looked tired, but there was a new steadiness in my eyes. I asked myself softly, "Is this how you want the rest of your life to feel?" The silence that followed was the loudest answer I had ever heard. "No," I whispered. "I deserve more than this." And for the first time in months, I believed it. The next morning, I woke up before sunrise. I made a cup of tea, sat on the edge of the bed, and watched the sky lighten. The house around me felt quiet, but not in a haunting way, more like it was waiting for me to take the next step. Around 10, I grabbed my bag, locked the door behind me, and drove to the nearest real estate office. My hands trembled as I pushed open the glass door. A young woman with warm eyes greeted me. "Good morning, how can I help you?" I took a slow breath. I want to sell my house." She blinked, surprised. "Oh, of course, is everything okay?" I nodded. "Yes, I just need a fresh start." We sat down at her desk. She asked me questions, practical ones, necessary ones, but I answered them calmly as if I had rehearsed every response, because in my heart I had. She looked over the property details, then raised her head. This house will sell fast. The market is strong and your neighborhood is very desirable. Her words felt strange. This house, my home, desirable to someone else. I swallowed hard and forced a small smile. That's good. When she asked if anyone else needed to sign the papers, I hesitated. Then I said quietly, "No, it's under my name." She nodded and began preparing the documents. I realized then how ironic life could be. The house my husband had once insisted we put under my name to protect our assets was now the very thing that allowed me to walk away. Over the next week, the process moved quickly. Buyers came to see the house. People walked through the rooms where my memories lived. They complimented the natural lighting, the quiet neighborhood, the garden. I showed them around with a calm smile, even though part of me was quietly breaking inside. A young couple eventually made an offer above the asking price. The real estate agent called me. They love it. They want to move in as soon as possible. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the lemon tree outside the window. The sunlight hit the leaves gently. I felt tears in my eyes, but this time they weren't from sadness. They were from closure. "Tell them yes," I said softly. The decision felt like an exhale I had been holding for far too long. The hardest part was packing. Every object had a memory attached to it. The vase from our 3rd anniversary. The picture frame he once gifted me. The throw blanket we used during movie nights. I touched everything carefully, gently, like they were pieces of a life that deserved respect, even if it had ended. But I didn't take much with me, just clothes, some personal documents, a few sentimental items from before the marriage. I didn't want to carry anything that reminded me of the pain. As I sealed the last box, I whispered to myself, "You're doing the right thing." And for once, the house didn't feel heavy. It felt ready to let me go. 3 days before the sale was finalized, Daniel finally called me. I stared at the phone for a moment, debating whether to answer. Then I picked up. "Hey," he said, as if nothing were wrong. "Hi," I replied, my voice calm. "How are things?" "Fine," he hesitated. "I'll be back soon. The trip's been interesting." I closed my eyes. "I see." He didn't mention her, not a single word, but I already knew. "I'll see you when I get back," he said. I almost smiled at the irony. "Yes," I said quietly, "you will." On my final night in the house, I walked through every room slowly. I touched the walls. I stood in the doorway of our bedroom. I ran my fingers along the kitchen counter, and then I stepped outside to look at the lemon tree, our marriage tree. Its branches were full. Its leaves were bright. It was beautiful. I whispered, "We grew, just not the way I hoped." I didn't cry. Instead, I felt an unexpected sense of tenderness toward the old version of me who tried so hard, who stayed hopeful, who loved deeply. I closed my eyes and breathed in the night air. Tomorrow I would leave. Tomorrow the house would no longer be mine. Tomorrow my life would begin again. That night, lying on a mattress on the floor, the last item left in the house, I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Strength. Not the loud, forceful kind, but the quiet, steady kind. The kind that comes from accepting the truth. The kind that comes from letting go. The kind that comes from choosing yourself even when it hurts. I knew the real confrontation would come when Daniel returned. I knew there would be questions, shock, confusion. But I also knew one thing with certainty. Whatever happened next, I would face it with calmness, clarity, and dignity. Because the woman I was becoming, the woman who made the hardest decision of her life, deserved that much. The morning Daniel returned, the sky was strangely calm. Soft light filled the empty rooms. The house felt hollow yet peaceful, like it had already said its goodbyes. I stood in the kitchen with my small suitcase beside me. The counters were bare. The shelves were empty. The only sound was the quiet hum of the refrigerator, which would soon be unplugged by the new owners. I was ready, not for him, but for myself. I heard his car pull into the driveway. My heartbeat stayed steady, surprisingly steady. I wiped my palms on my jeans and waited. The front door opened. "Anna," he called out casually. His tone, it struck me. Light, comfortable, completely unaware of what was about to hit him. I stepped out of the kitchen doorway. He froze when he saw me standing in an empty living room. What's going on?" he asked. I didn't answer immediately. I let him look around. Let him feel the silence. Let him notice the absence of everything he once took for granted. His eyes darted from wall to wall, confusion spreading across his face. "Where's the furniture?" he asked. "Gone," I said softly. "What do you mean gone?" "I sold it." He blinked, stunned. "You what?" "The house, too," I added. The color drained slightly from his face. It was the first time in months I had truly seen his emotions. "You sold the house," he repeated, as if he couldn't understand the words. "Yes." "Why?" His voice cracked with disbelief. I took a slow breath. For a long time, I was losing myself trying to hold us together. And while I was doing that, you were building a life somewhere else. He didn't speak, not at first. He stared at me like he was seeing a stranger. Then he ran a hand through his hair. "Anna, listen." "I did listen," I interrupted gently. "I listened for months." He opened his mouth, closed it again, then exhaled. "What did you see?" he asked, almost in a whisper. I didn't answer with anger. I didn't raise my voice. I simply said, "Enough." Something in him softened. He sat down on the floor, the emptiness around him making the moment feel even heavier. "Anna, I can explain." "No," I said, shaking my head. "You don't have to, I know enough." He looked down at his hands. "There's nothing between us, I mean between me and her, it was just—" "Daniel," I said quietly. "Please don't lie anymore. I've carried enough lies in this house. Let them go now, I have." He closed his eyes. The truth sat between us, heavy and undeniable. After a long silence, he finally spoke. "I don't know when I started slipping away," he admitted. I nodded. "I do." He looked up, surprised. "You do?" "Yes," I whispered. "I felt it every day, every quiet dinner, every late night, every time you smiled at your phone instead of me." He didn't argue, didn't defend himself, and somehow that made the situation even more real. "I never meant to hurt you," he said. "I know," I replied. "But you did." He swallowed hard. "I thought we were okay." "We were." I shook my head. "We just stopped talking about it." He stared at the empty space beside him where the couch used to be. "We built a whole life here," he whispered. "Yes," I said softly. "And then we let it fall apart." He stood up slowly and walked toward me. "Anna, do you want me to fight for us?" His question hung in the air. For a second, the old part of me, the part that used to cling to memories, wanted to say yes. But the woman I had become, the woman who packed her life into a single suitcase, knew better. "No," I said gently, "I don't." He stared at me, silent. "I've been fighting alone for a long time," I continued. "And you didn't even notice." He lowered his eyes. "So that's it?" he asked quietly. "Yes," I whispered. "That's it." Surprisingly, he didn't get angry. He didn't shout. He didn't accuse. He just sat back down, as if the weight of his choices had finally settled on his shoulders. "I didn't think you would leave," he said. "I know. I thought you'd always be here. I know. I thought," he stopped, unable to finish. I finished for him. "You thought I'd accept anything as long as you came home." He didn't deny it, just nodded. And then in the quietest voice he said, "I'm sorry." For the first time in months, I believed him. "I didn't sell the house to punish you," I said softly. "Then why?" "Because staying here was hurting me." He looked up slowly. "Where will you go?" "I have a place to stay for a while. After that, I'll figure it out." "And us?" he asked hesitantly. "There is no us anymore, Daniel." He inhaled sharply but didn't argue. I pointed to the small stack of papers on the kitchen counter. "The sale is final tomorrow. The new owners will move in next week." He stood up again, but this time he looked tired. not angry, not defensive, just tired. "Can I ask you something?" he said. "Yes." "Why didn't you wait for me to come back before deciding?" I took a moment before answering. "Because when you left, I realized I had already been waiting for you for years." His eyes widened slightly. He had no response. He walked through the house slowly, touching the walls like they were old friends. "This house was our dream," he murmured. "It was," I replied. "And now?" "It's someone else's beginning," I said. He nodded, but his face held a mix of regret and grief. When he stepped into the kitchen again, he looked at me with a quiet heartbreak I wasn't expecting. "You really made up your mind?" "Yes." "Can I ask one more thing?" "Of course." "Do you hate me?" My chest tightened. I shook my head. "No, I don't hate you, Daniel," he exhaled, relieved. "I just can't stay with someone who stopped choosing me." He walked to the door, paused, and turned back. "Take care of yourself," he said. "I will." "And thank you for everything," he added softly. I nodded. "Thank you, too." He looked around one last time, then stepped outside. When the door closed behind him, it didn't feel like a slam. It felt like a sigh, a gentle ending to a long, quiet goodbye. When he drove away, I didn't collapse. I didn't cry. I sat on the floor, leaned my back against the wall, and let the silence fill the room. For the first time in a long time, I felt peace. Not happiness, not excitement, just peace. I whispered to myself, "You did it, Anna. You finally did it." And in that soft, quiet moment, an unexpected warmth spread through me. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't lost. I wasn't broken. I was free. I spent the next few days moving from room to room, taking in everything the way a person looks at a place they know they'll never see again. I didn't cry. Not even once. Maybe because my tears had already dried up long before he left with her. Or maybe because this house had held more loneliness than love for a very long time. I stood in our bedroom and opened the closet. Half the space was empty, ever since he started packing for business trips. But the real truth was, he had been packing memories out of our marriage long before he packed any suitcase. I lifted one of his shirts, the one he wore every Sunday morning. I remembered how he used to hold my hand in the early years. I remembered how he would look at me like I was the only steady thing in his world. And I remembered the moment that look changed. Slowly, quietly, until I was just part of the furniture. Letting the shirt fall, I whispered, "You left long before you walked out that door." I kept only what truly belonged to me. A few dresses, my mother's earrings, a couple of family photographs, and that was it. Everything else went into boxes, neatly, carefully. People think selling a house is about paperwork and signatures. But it's not. It's about letting go of the version of yourself who lived inside those walls. One evening, while the sun was setting, I sat in the living room. The walls were bare. The shelves were empty. I listened to the soft echo of my breathing in the quiet space. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel trapped. I took one last walk through the place. The kitchen where I cooked meals he often came home too late to eat. The hallway where I once waited for him, pretending not to worry. The backyard where we dreamed of raising children we never had. Every step felt lighter, like I was peeling old skin off my soul. The day before he was supposed to return, I signed the papers. The house wasn't just sold. It was gone. I remember looking at my reflection in the car window afterwards. My face looked calm, almost peaceful, not because I wanted revenge, but because I had finally chosen myself. As I walked away, I felt something strange, not sadness, not fear, but freedom. A kind of freedom you don't celebrate loudly. A freedom you hold gently, like a newborn hope. And deep inside, I knew this wasn't the end of something. It was the beginning of me. The morning he returned, the sky was quiet, soft, almost gentle. Like the world knew something was about to end but didn't want to scare me with noise. I sat on the small bench outside the house, well, what used to be our house. It wasn't mine anymore. The keys were tucked inside my purse, ready to be handed to the new owners later that day. I heard his car before I saw him. The engine slowed, then stopped. A door opened. Another closed. I kept my eyes on the ground, watching the dust move at my feet. "Where's the realtor's sign?" he asked. His voice sounded tired, older, as if the trip that was supposed to clear his head had drained him instead. I didn't answer right away. I let the silence sit between us like an old friend who had seen too much. Then he stepped closer. "Why are the curtains gone? Why are the rooms empty?" He sounded confused, but also uneasy. I lifted my head slowly. Our eyes met. There was no anger in mine, no bitterness, just a quiet truth that had taken me months to reach. "I sold the house," I said softly. His mouth opened slightly, not wide, just enough to reveal the shock he didn't know how to hide. You sold it." His voice cracked a little. It surprised him more than it surprised me. "Yes," I said, calm, steady. Like the decision had been made in my bones long before the papers were signed. He ran a hand through his hair, a gesture he always made when he was overwhelmed. "Why would you do that without telling me?" I looked at him gently. "Because you didn't tell me you were building a new life with her." He froze, completely still. For a moment, even the wind stopped moving. He swallowed. "It wasn't like that. You took a trip with her," I said. "With her family. You left me here alone without a word of reassurance. What else is it like?" His eyes softened with something between regret and fear. "I didn't mean to hurt you." I nodded. "I know, but you did, and I can't stay in a house full of ghosts. I can't keep waiting for the man you used to be." He looked away, staring at the empty windows behind me. Then he whispered, barely audible, "So where will you go?" "I don't know yet," I told him honestly. "But wherever it is, it'll be mine. And I'll be at peace." I stood up and handed him the last key, not to him, but to the truth. "This house was our ending," I said, "not our beginning." He didn't try to stop me. Maybe because deep down he knew this was the moment I had been quietly walking toward for years. As I stepped away, I heard him sigh, a long, broken breath he couldn't control. But I didn't look back. I walked down the street with a small suitcase, a light heart, and a future finally open to me. Not loud. Not dramatic, just quietly hopeful. And as the sun warmed my face, I realized something. Losing him wasn't the end of my story. It was the moment I finally found myself again.
He learned the lesson, and the house is sold. Like and subscribe for more stories.